As the series progresses, it often becomes necessary to introduce new supporting characters to pre-established groups, to inject some extra character into something familiar. Of course, it's also important to make sure that these new characters are both immediately recognizable, impactful, and likable, while also not disrupting the already present group dynamic. Fortunately, Girls and Panzer hits the mark with its introductions of both Klara and Rosehip in their film. This week's video is brought to you by my upcoming original manga Amaranth Angels. Cute anime girls, starfighters, and exciting space battles in a fun space adventure. Written by a Girls and Panzer fan, for other fans of Girls and Panzer and the military moe genre in general. The first full volume will hopefully be out in the coming months, and I now have a pre-order store live for anyone who missed the Kickstarter campaign. Now, on to the video. There were quite a few new characters introduced in Girls and Panzer Der Film. From Alice, to the Yakusoda Squad, to everybody from Chiatan. However, when it comes to schools we already knew before this point, there were two new, significant supporting characters who stand out whenever they're on screen and who quickly became fan favorites. And yet, they couldn't be more different. Let's take a closer look at Pravda's sole actual Russian, Klara, and St. Gloriana's speed demon, Rosehip. Obviously, there may be some spoilers ahead, but there shouldn't be anything too egregious. We meet Klara first in their film, so we'll start with her. From her earliest scenes, we get a pretty good sense of at least some aspects of her personality. She's got a very calm, level-headed demeanor, no matter the situation in a match. And we've never seen her lose her cool. In her first scene as well, we see Klara's close relationship with Katyusha's longtime right-hand woman, Nona. This is of course in part due to the Russian connection, as Nona, unlike Katyusha, can actually speak the language. This camaraderie, as we come to see, extends to their mutual admiration for Katyusha, perhaps to a somewhat excessive degree. Though as I'm sure we all remember well, they both enjoyed engaging in a little bit of trolling of our favorite mini Stalin. And while it's not exactly clear within the movie just how long it's been since Klara arrived and joined the Pravda squad, the fact that it takes till the main battle of their film for Katyusha to figure out that Klara can, in fact, actually speak Japanese after all, just speaks volumes to how good of a long con it was. Though while she and Nona are the two voices on Katyusha's shoulders, however, they are pretty different people overall. Klara comes off as much more personable, expressive, and open than the very stoic, closed-off Nona. Just a very pleasant, nice girl who can be relied on. When it comes to Senshino, Klara, while not necessarily an outstanding player, definitely displays solid competence throughout. Enough so at least that Katyusha is confident enough in her to bring her as part of the squad for the main battle, and then again in Das Finale to have Klara serve as a flag tank for at least one occasion. Of course, that didn't quite end so well in the battle against Koromoromine, but that was more of a product of the entrenchment than any sort of direct mistake on Klara's part. And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention Klara's single biggest moment so far, her start of the Pravda sacrifice for Katyusha in the first portion of the main Der Film battle. She's the first to recognize just how dire the situation is, as their force attempts to retreat amid the Karl's bombardment and the oncoming Pershings. She doesn't hesitate to let the rest of the team pass her, then drives straight into the jaws of the enemy. She's quickly taken out, tanking, no pun intended, what appears to be a direct hit from the Karl, but she inspires the other two Pravda support tanks to do the same. They all love and respect Katyusha enough. Okay, maybe the first years in the KV2 have a little bit of fear as well, to agree that it's worth sacrificing themselves to ensure that she remains in the match. This sacrifice Klara began, perhaps combined with her revealing to Katyusha that she spoke Japanese all along, had a noticeable impact on Katyusha here. And it definitely affected how she approached the rest of the match, and it probably also led her to have a greater appreciation for her subordinates. Not that that prevents her from getting annoyed later on, when Klara and Nona resume talking Russian while in her presence. That trolling is all in good fun, of course. Klara, along with Nona, have a rather motherly feeling toward Katyusha. Their cute scene in their film's credits, with Klara playing a guitar, or at least I think it's a guitar, while Nona sings to a napping Katyusha, encapsulates this pretty well. And of course, when we get down to it, the combination of her character design, heavily based on her voice actress, actual Russian Zhenya Davydyuk, her fluent Russian, and her soft-spoken nature, made her an easy fan favorite for many. Rosehip's appeal is a different matter entirely. With her introduction in their film, also in that first battle, we see, for lack of a better term, a different side of St. Gloriana. Up to this point, and even up until Rosehip's reveal in the middle portion of this opening battle, St. Gloriana's identity has been very static and well-defined. calm, collected, stately, and disciplined. Rosehip is, well, kind of the opposite of that. A stark contrast to the Saint Gloriana we've seen so far. Hyper-energized, a bit wild, and uncontrollable, operating on a single brain cell. So, her presence reveals that Saint Gloriana and its commander Darjeeling recognize the upsides of such an approach to Senshiro as well. As for Rosehip herself, she obviously breaks the mold we've seen with all the Saint Gloriana girls so far, and is visibly awkward in some of their formal situations, like at the end of their film or during Das finale. She's trying her best, though her personality type is a bit at odds with it all. Is it fair to say that she's to the standard Saint Gloriana girls, like the Irish are to the English? When it comes to Senshiro competition, Rosehip is, on the one hand, rather hit or miss. Though on the other hand, whether she hits or misses in a given instance, she tends to execute her role as assigned. Part scout, part distraction, part harasser, all speed. Whether it's drawing out enemy forces, picking some of the lighter tanks off in fast attacks, or pulling insane stunts to score a kill, Rosehip and her Crusader tank are always in the thick of the action. The fact that in pretty much every match she winds up with a trash tank and a broken teacup, why do you think she's always got a different design in every battle? Doesn't really matter. She's trusted enough to lead the Crusader unit in their film and Das finale, so if Darjeeling is willing to give her that trust, despite her less than elegant nature, who are we to question it? From a more out-of-universe point of view, Rosehip just has that sort of fun energy about her that immediately draws attention and helps her nearly always steal the scene when she's on screen. And you know that when we see her, we're in for some fun moments. I know I can't wait to see more of her as Das finale continues, so it's therefore no surprise at all that many fans have gravitated towards St. Gloriana's firebrand. Both Klara and Rosehip were excellent additions to their respective schools, injecting some fresh, extra character to teams we already knew well, while being instantly fun and memorable themselves, and not becoming simply gag characters. They add more to their respective schools while not altering those schools' established nature, while having more than enough to their own personalities to enable them to quickly become fan favorites and grow to be not just side gimmick characters, but key recurring supporting characters. And of course, they're just two of the new girls we get to meet in their film. If you enjoyed this video and like to support me and what I do here, my books and light novels are all available on Amazon. And you can get early access to videos, sneak peeks and updates on my upcoming military moe manga and other projects by subscribing over on Patreon. I also offer channel memberships now, which get you access to monthly members-only watch-along streams, in which we're currently watching Space Battleship Yamato. And of course, if you have any thoughts on this video or is anything Girls and Panzer related you'd like me to talk about, definitely share them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them, and while I might not get to respond to every comment, at least not in a timely manner, I can guarantee that I read each of them. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any future uploads. That's all for now, so until next time.